Okay, so not too long ago, I received a PM asking me what are the 19 Enochian keys in the back of the Satanic Bible. And I promised that person that I would do a video, so here we go. Um, in order to understand the Enochian language, you have to go back in time to an astrologer, a cryptographer, a spy for the Elizabethan court named Dr. John Dee, and what it was he was attempting to do. Dr. John Dee during the 16th century was the original 007. Like I said, he was a cryptographer, and what he was attempting to do with this language, to make a long story short, was he was attempting to get in contact with higher intelligences on on other dimensions, like the fourth dimension, in order to receive information on his enemies or on Queen Elizabeth I's enemies. So he was trying to devise a language, along with his seer and scryer, Edward Kelly. He was working with, in order to find, not just get in contact and communicate with these angels, but find out information. So that's the first part of it. His system was not finished, and what ended up happening was a magical order, the Golden Dawn, years later, picked up his and Kelly's work and then kind of cleaned it up and synthesized it and made kind of like a Golden Dawn version of Enochian. And then, of course, in the Golden Dawn, we have the infamous magician Aleister Crowley. He picked up the Enochian language, and he actually, with his partner, Victor Neuburg, traveled the Sahara Desert, and he scried using the 19th call, which is an important call. I'll get into that a little bit later. But using the 19th Enochian call, he scried the 38th years in his book, The Vision and the Voice, which I highly recommend you check out. And check out this version with commentary if you can find it. That's where he went through each and every eighth year, and he himself explored it and basically unlocked the secrets, so to speak, within all 38 years. Now, I realize that I'm skipping and I'm going rather fast, so if you have any questions or if you have any discussions, things that you disagree with, go ahead and get on a webcam, go ahead and get on the comments and comment to this video. But anyways, moving right along, fast forwarding from Aleister Crowley's work in The Gems of the Equinox and Libra 418, The Vision and the Voice, we fast forward to the 1960s with Anton LaVey. Anton LaVey picked up the Enochian keys and incorporated them in the back of his Satanic Bible. And some have speculated that he was just looking for a spooky language and, that he was just putting it in his book for filler. I, on the other hand, believe that he put some stock in the Enochian system, which is why he incorporated it. I mean, in my personal introduction to Enochian, that was where I came across it in the Satanic Bible, like most beginning Satanists. And when I looked into the system, the first thing I noticed was that every occultist said that Enochian was a very powerful system. So I said, okay, I kind of see why Anton LaVey chose the Enochian system. But the one thing that Anton LaVey did in his book, grab it, in the Satanic Bible, was that he pretty much translated it. He changed the English translations and spun it for his purpose, for like making a satanic kind of Enochian, but he did not change the angelic language whatsoever. And when you're dealing with an angelic paradigm, but you're calling upon, supposedly demonic forces, not a good idea. Not a good idea. So altogether, if you're going to revise the Enochian system, you do so with everything, the totality of it, not just a few things here and there, to fit a satanic paradigm. And moving along. Now, fast forwarding from the 1960s to recent times, to today, there's been an author that's come out that's pretty much, in my opinion, has almost perfected the Enochian system. That author's name is Lon Milo Duquette, and let me get his book right here. In this book, which I highly recommend any occultist, whether they're right-hand path, left-hand path, whatever, check out Enochian Vision Magic by Lon Milo Duquette. Okay, if you really are serious about Enochian work, you want to pick up that book. That book breaks down the calls, the tablets, the sigil, the Ameth. It breaks down everything within the Enochian system. Now, I've briefly talked about where Enochian came from and a couple of the revision that it's gone through along the way, but I haven't really talked about what the 19 Enochian calls are and what they're used for. Before going any further into the Enochian system, there needs to be a difference that needs to be clarified right now between the way in which these angels are called. The difference is in invocation and evocation. I'm going to start with evocation first. Evocation is when you call an entity to you, on the outside. You talk to, not talking to an entity, excuse me, where you command an entity to go forth and do your will. An invocation is when you bring an entity into yourself in order to commune with it, in order to speak to it. That was also a way in which John Dee and Edward Kelly were scrying. They were invoking energies from these other dimensions into themselves. Moving along. I've gone ahead and taken a few still shots from Enochian Vision Magic, and we're going to examine what these calls are and what they are used for. Now, as you can see, there is a huge square tablet with a big black cross dividing this tablet into 4 other tablets. Now, these are actually the different tablets, like the tablet of fire, the tablet of air, the tablet of earth, the tablet of water, excuse me. And the Golden Dawn actually did a lot of revision in this. There was a lot of things that were incomplete in Dee and Kelly's work, and the Golden Dawn stepped in and assigned a lot of elemental works to these angels. And what these squares are, and all of these little letters that are found within the squares, are actual different names of angels and different hierarchies in which angels rule over which angels. And that's essentially, moving on to the next diagram, what these calls are used for. They are used to call different hierarchies of angels in a specific order. Kind of think of it like a phone number. You have to dial this number in order to reach this angel. And if you want to get into contact with this angel, you have to go through this angel first, and then your people call their people, we'll do lunch, etc. I'm joking, of course. But, in order to get in touch with certain angels, you have to go through specific hierarchies. And that's what the call is primarily used for. For example, let's take the first 3 calls as an example. Call 1 is to be used for the Tablet of Union. And it says, the first call is to be used first of all invocations of angels of the Tablet of Union. According to the Golden Dawn, it is never used for actions dealing with angels of the elemental tablets. Okay, call number 2, Tablet of Union again. The second call is to be used second after call 1 to invoke Angel Ehenba of Tablet of Union. According to the Golden Dawn, it is never used with elemental tablets. And call number 3 is used for the elemental tablet of air. The third call can be used in one of 3 ways. Use third, after calls 1 and 2, to invoke angels of Exarpe of the Tablet of Union. Second way it can be used is use first for operations involving the elemental tablet of air. And the third way it can be used is used by itself for invocations of the seniors from the elemental tablet of air, or for angels from the air sub-angel of the elemental tablet of air. So as you can see, there's several ways of calling upon these hierarchies, and these calls serve different functions, but it's used primarily for specific tablets.